Hey everybody, this is Melky, your host, and you are listening to the another episode of Meaningful Conversations with Top Cause, the podcast where we explore ideas, stories, and wisdom that inspire personal and collective transformation. In today's episode, we are diving into an urgent yet inspiring topic: climate optimism in action. Our guest calls himself Stubborn Climate Optimist, and he's a NASA scholar and a TEDx speaker. In this episode, we'll explore how optimism, science, and action intersect in the fight for a sustainable future. Let's kick things off with this. Being a stubborn climate optimist sounds like a fascinating mix of hope and
Mhm.
resilience. Can you tell us how you keep that mindset alive while facing the immense challenges of climate change, especially in today's world?
Well, I'm an educator, and part of my work is to teach. So, teaching is not like how it was before 10 or 20 years. Now, again, teaching means imparting knowledge. Now, with the technology, advancement of technology, everybody gets that knowledge everywhere. So, teaching is no more just imparting knowledge. It's more than that. Teaching is inspiring. So I want to inspire people. So I don't fit in into that normal, regular teacher. So my job is to inspire people and again inspire change. And in order to inspire others, I have to practice it. I have to do it myself. So practice before I preach. So if I want to set an example, I have to be an example. I have to do it myself. Okay, so when I talk about climate change, normally, we tell them not to do this. Okay, so I have to do it. I never drive. I sold my car, Mhm. and I hardly take my two-wheeler. I love to walk. Okay, and people see, people observe, people watch us. So it's all about setting an example. It's all about inspiring, change. So that's how I see it.
Thank you, Jenna, for that interesting perspective. I think that's true. Practice what you preach. I think that should be instilled in every one of us.
Yeah.
I can totally resonate to what you said that your job as a teacher is to inspire. I think there are lots of teachers out there. I myself is also a teacher,
Teacher. Wonderful, wonderful.
but and teacher's job is to educate, and that's everyone is doing. But I would say, like what you said, is how you are inspiring. That's
Right.
what all really matters.
That is correct.
So, in today's world where the climate is changing and everyone is talking about climate change,
Mhm.
my question is why people are not worried about climate change?
Again, it's an interesting question. Because they don't see it, they don't experience it, or they have not experienced it yet. Okay, but climate is ever changing. Climate is changing since the birth of the Earth, 4.5 billion years, 4.6 billion years to be precise. Okay, climate is ever changing. But what had happened in the last 150 to 200 years, it's changing in a fast pace. So that's the issue. Okay, so the Arctics are melting, the Antarctic, the global warming, all those things just because of the climate. Okay, so this worries, and these things has to we have to tell people. And part of my job is to create this awareness. Climate changing, and these are the symptoms because they are not aware. Heat waves is part of climate change. Okay, and when it may just be like a heat wave, a 1 degree an increase in temperature, but it affects profoundly, especially the kids and the older people. Okay, and these heat waves will also change the cloud formation, and again cloud formation will change the rain and the weather patterns. Okay, so just a 1 degree increase, it will change everything. So the awareness has to be created, and that's my job. Okay, as a educator, as a climate change educator, as a citizen scientist, and this is what my job is, to create that awareness. How it's happening and what we can do about it.
Okay, so I think yes, that's what we need in today's
Mm.
world, the awareness. And I do agree with what you stated that people are not worried because it's not affecting them like COVID-19 affected. I think people were scared and worried
Yeah.
about COVID-19 because it was directly affecting them. Last year, I was in Thailand and I
Hmm.
went to this temple, and half of this temple was immersed in water because it's
Yeah.
on the coast. And I read a bit about that temple, and I
Hmm.
wanted to visit that because in next 5 or 10 years, well, 10 years is a long time, maybe in next 5 years, this temple won't exist anymore because it will be
Yeah.
completely submerged in
Completely
the
so
water.
much.
So people who are living in the coast
Mhm.
are are actually seeing this effect. And there are a lot of climate refugees.
Yes.
So this climate refugee is going to be a huge crisis in
True. True.
in next few years.
Hmm.
And you mentioned that you create awareness. So what role do you have, and how do you create this awareness?
Well, again, it's an interesting question. See, climate change awareness varies from country to country and place to place. Okay, and again, it varies from community to community as well. If I go to an affluent school where they are quite aware and their actions are different, where if I go to a school, a rural school in a village, a remote village, so there their awareness and understanding level is something very different. Okay, so creating awareness matters, and everybody needs it. Again, if I go to a rural school, I can't tell them everything, the science, the A to Z of climate change. It doesn't matter at all. What is climate? What is weather? It doesn't matter at all. You have to tell them in a different language. And again, to an affluent school, it's something very different. To the rural community, it's something very different. Okay, so creating awareness is the base to everyone, and everybody needs it. They're not aware. A 1 degree change will affect in a very different way. So why these generation, especially the younger kids and the older people, they're often falling sick. So one major reason is the heat waves. So that affects the kids, the children, and the elderly people first. Okay, so this is all because of climate change. So we have to tell them, okay, these are the things, these are the symptoms, and this is how it's affected. They are not aware of it. Okay, so the small awareness, bigger impact. That's how I say it.
Yeah, I think it's always the small steps
Correct.
that counts, that
Yeah.
takes you to a bigger or a longer journey. So, Jana, like you mentioned, a lot of people are not aware, and a lot of people are not aware, and that's maybe that is one of the reasons that they think that they are not responsible,
Mhm.
or it's the government's responsibility, it's not their responsibility.
Yeah, that's what I know. Climate change is everybody's responsible. Everybody's responsibility. You can't, blame the government or any individual or any organization. It's everybody's. Okay, and only thing is they are not aware. So creating awareness is the must. That is essential. So when they are aware about climate change, so they are responsible now. Okay, and they will take actions. Only if they are not aware, when there is no awareness, so they may not know. So once they are aware, so they will take actions. So creating awareness is essential.
Hmm. So, Jana, as an individual, I take a lot of actions and steps so that
Mhm.
I reduce my carbon footprint. Like I do create compost, I ride bicycle.
Wonderful, wonderful.
A lot of steps I take personally,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel powerless
No.
in
Okay.
making a difference for the environment.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a citizen scientist, as a stubborn climate optimist,
Mm.
what advice would you give to individuals like me who feel powerless in making difference for the environment?
Okay. So again, see, you said you're doing it. You're riding bicycle, and you're doing composting and all those things. Okay. So people, they watch us, they observe us, especially the younger generations, the little ones. Okay. And you have already started inspiring them, and they might take action. Okay. So that is one thing. Another thing is, you know, uh, can you tell me the powerful creature on earth? Can you tell one powerful creature on earth?
Any powerful elephant, maybe?
Elephant. Okay. So don't you think the human beings are the most powerful creature on earth?
Yeah, of course, human beings are the most
Yes.
powerful, I think. Yeah,
Okay. We have destroyed the planet only in the last 150 years.
right.
Okay. So we are the most powerful creature on earth. Okay. So
Mm.
I always draw, inspiration from movies, especially Hollywood action movies, action hero movies. And have you watched the movie Spider-Man, the first part,
Yes, of course,
where the
yes.
Peter Parker is the Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and when he realizes the power as a Spider-Man within him, so he talks to his uncle. Okay, say I got this power. What should I do with this power? And his Uncle Ben replies, with more power comes more responsibility. Correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's inspiration I get from them. See, we are already the powerful, creature on the planet. And it's our responsibility to take care of all the creatures around us. Let it be a plant, animal, whatever it is. This is our everybody's responsibility. So this is our responsibility to preserve, protect, and pass on these things to the next generation. So if you want more power, you have more responsibility. Okay, if a collector has a lot of responsibility, a collector's responsibility is to take care of the entire district. If you want to be a chief minister, your responsibility, you have more power, but again, more responsibility to take care of the entire state. And if you are a prime minister like Modi ji, his responsibility is to take care of the entire country. Okay, and now he's taking responsibility of the entire, the world. Okay, so with more responsibility, more power comes more responsibility. So if you wish for more power, we are already powerful. Okay, every human being is powerful by birth. Okay, and again, if you want more power in terms of position and things like that, then you have more responsibility. So it's absolutely individual's choice. But
Mm.
we are powerful by birth.
And that's a huge responsibility on us.
Of
Instead of
course, yes,
destroying, we
yeah,
need to rebuild it.
correct.
And just to add to that, I would like to say
Yeah.
that a lot of people think that we are contributing to environment by recycling.
Mhm.
While recycling is important, but there are more things that you can do beyond recycling. So I call it 5 R's, which I
Mm.
actually tell it to my friends or also teach in my sessions.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Recycle is the first thing, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
we can reuse.
Reuse. Yeah.
We can, opt for durable products
Mm-hmm.
and we can use it multiple times. We
Correct.
can reduce,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
minimizing the consumption of
Perfect.
resources. We can repurpose. We can
Wonderful.
transform
Wonderful.
items that are no longer useful.
Useful. Yeah.
Like I do composting, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm making something out of the
Hold
wastage.
on. Exact.
And refuse,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Correct. Yeah.
avoid products, which such as single-use plastics.
Plastics. Yeah.
So yeah, I think with these small steps, as you said, these are we are powerful beings,
Correct.
but the question is, are we responsible enough?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And especially, I like the refuse part of it. Okay, if we refuse for many things, so that itself will save the planet because we are over consuming. We are just buying products. We are not,
Mm.
using it. Maybe one time use out. You just, see the products around us, what we really use, and other things are just dumped. Not just in every homes which have been, they just buy products just to dump, just to showcase.
Mm.
So refuse is a brilliant.
Right, and a lot of people say that how can we refuse because we need that. So a simple example, it's so I just went to buy a pineapple,
Mhm.
just just before this podcast,
Uh-huh.
and this shopkeeper was putting the pineapple inside the poly bag. So I
Oh
took out the
yeah.
poly bag and gave it back to him
Mhm.
because I had my own bag and I
Oh,
kept the
mm,
pineapple in my bag. So it's not
mhm,
necessary. So that simple step of refusing can
mm.
make a huge difference.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Jenna, you are also a NASA's citizen scientist.
Mhm.
Can you share a moment in your career that reinforced your commitment to planetary preservation?
Well, this is a bit of a story.
Hmm.
I always wanted to be a scientist. Okay, a real scientist, but didn't happen. Unfortunately, didn't happen. And because of a couple of science teachers, I had to opt for arts group in my schooling. So of course, I enjoyed it, and I never regret. I enjoyed my entire schooling and college. I did social science. I did my sociology, and my MA and MPhil was in sociology. Then later on, I wanted to teach MBA. I also did an MBA from IIM, and even the list goes on. But
Hmm.
the aspiration remained. You know, the spark within me, wanted to be a scientist was always burning brighter every day and night. Okay, so COVID was the answer for it. And due with COVID, I had nothing much to do. I was at home, and so I thought, why don't I try? Why don't I bring my passion alive? Okay, so started. I was really afraid of science because I had a gap of like 15 years teaching, management and social science and doing other projects. So I was afraid of science. Then I thought, why don't I take it? Let's see what happens. Then again, I Googled it, what is the toughest science subject? And unfortunately, it's not rocket science, it's neuroscience. I thought, why don't I, give a try? And again, Googled it, one of the toughest, universities in the world. So Harvard came. I thought, let's do it. So there were three courses on neuroscience, and I completed two of it. Okay, one of the toughest course, and there I gained my confidence. Wow, yes, I can do it. Then I did several other courses from Stanford, MIT, and again a couple of courses from NASA, all of it. Then fine, let me try. I always wanted to be a scientist. Why don't I apply for it? And they have a separate specialized citizen science projects for people like me. So I opted for it. I got selected. Now I'm involved in three citizen science project. I'm also a cloud scientist. With there's a project called Globe Observer project, and I've done like over 250 observations for NASA so far. And it's really it's a cool job to be because every day I get a pop-up message, a notification saying that there's a satellite passover on your location. Okay, so come out and do the observation. So I hurry up, and whenever I interact with two satellites, Terra and Nova, I also have used world's one of the powerful telescope, the Pan-STAR telescope, to observe the asteroids and other comets and other uh, uh, bodies. Okay, so it's an interesting job. Okay, so for anybody who is listening to it, okay, never let your spark off. Okay, whatever it is, age is just a number. Age doesn't matter, but your passion matters. So you can pursue it anytime, any day. and that's how you evolve.
Thank you, Jana, for sharing that interesting story. And I do agree with you, what you said that you can start anytime. Whatever you time you choose is the right time, not
Correct,
late, not
correct.
early.
Yeah, yeah.
So I totally agree with you. It's in a very interesting story what you mentioned and how you have done a lot of courses and all of those courses were different to what you did earlier and quite a radical change that you have made in your life.
So
Um,
everybody can make the change. I want, I know the passion shouldn't stop at any cost. The
Absolutely.
aspiration should be alive. Yeah.
Hmm. So you have told an interesting story to us right now about your life. And
Mhm.
my question is, what role do you believe storytelling plays in driving climate action? And you have also appeared in TED as a TED speaker.
Uh-huh.
So how has being a TED speaker helped amplify your message?
Storytelling is need of the hour. Okay, I
Mm,
repeat it. Storytelling is need of the hour because the teaching has changed, the knowledge exchanging has drastically changed, and people, especially students, their attention span has reduced. Okay, so storytelling is essential now, critical, I would say. All right, and uh, TED Talk, TED Talk is just tip of iceberg. Okay, because I've done hundreds of sessions before that, the similar sessions what I did in TED Talk, maybe a little longer sessions, and somebody were noting it, observing me, watching me for almost a year,
mm.
and they called. I got a call like, we were following you for quite some time, and you are doing an incredible job. Why don't you do it? Okay, so TED Talk, was a result of so many sessions which I did long back, and of course, TED Talk has helped me. After that, I got invitation for many TED Talks and other talks, which I'll be doing, and I'm doing it. Okay, but storytelling is need of the hour. Okay, because our younger generation, in order to educate our especially the younger generation, storytelling is the way. And however innovative measures, however you do it, that is up to you. But storytelling, how you do it, short and sweet, where they take it, where they learn. So storytelling is need of the hour.
Thank you, Jenna. Yes, I think storytelling is definitely the need of the hour. And we all like stories since we were kids.
Yeah,
Everyone likes
yeah.
stories. You mentioned that you observe the comets and the satellites.
Uh-huh.
Recently, there was the comet that you have observed, and there was an article about that.
Ah, yes, correct,
Can you
correct.
tell a little bit about that?
Yeah. So what happens is, since I'm into NASA already, as part of my job, every day I have to observe. I observe the skies. Okay, let it be in the morning or especially in the evening hours. And not as I want to inspire others, I have to practice it at home. So I observe the skies, whether it's beautiful clouds or a scenery, okay, beautiful sun or all those things. We share it with home, and we do it together at home with the kids. So one particular day, that day we were just doing it, and something uh, uh, different appeared, and a little bit of research, we came to know that yeah, that's a comet. That's a A3 comet, which has visited our Earth 80,000 years ago. And while observing, it was closer to the sun, so we got only the reflections of it, and later on it came closer to the earth. So we also observed it, but unfortunately, the weather here, since it's on high altitude, the weather here was, covering it. We couldn't observe it properly, and that's how it is. Every day you observe it. It's not, I knew it. Every day I'm doing it. and I could spot on that particular day. So, but that was an incredible experience for all of us, especially for the kids. So they were more excited than me. They found something something unique, which nobody can see it in another, we don't know, another 80,000 or maybe more years.
Wow, incredible. So I would like to tell listeners that how I met Jenna. I met Jenna in a cafe, and I saw a guy sitting in the corner reading a book with a cap of National Geographic. So I was telling my friend like, oh, perhaps this guy is on a project or working in a National Geographic. So Jenna approached me and asked me because I had like a lot of badges on my
Practice.
bag.
Yeah, yeah.
So Jenna approached me and offered me one of his badge and a sticker. And it's like, hey, you would like to put it on your bag? And it's like, of course. So I was in a rush at that time, couldn't have a meaningful conversation like we are having right now. So, so that badge said, Nilgiri needs love.
Right.
So, Jenna, can you tell our audience what is that project you are working on?
Yeah, that's what, again, thank you for this question. And again, happy meeting you. Contacted me later on through Instagram, and somehow you found it. And I was so happy that, we have met, somehow we have met in my hometown, and, that's an incredible experience. And Nilgiri needs love. See, it's a very simple concept. Okay, like Nilgiri needs care, or the earth needs care. No matter it's just Nilgiris, the entire planet needs care. So, as I was mentioning like before, I was a climate advocate initially, wherein I dictate terms, we have to do only this, we are not supposed to do this. Then later on, I realized no, we have to just, inspire people. So inspiration always happens with a positive message. Okay, we can't always say that negative things. And here, normally, I've seen people wearing t-shirts. Whenever they come to Ooty, they buy a t-shirt like I love Ooty or I love Nilgiris. Okay, so but the message doesn't convey there. Here, Nilgiri needs love. Okay, so there's a message like it needs care, it needs protection, and that's how it's all started. And again, whomever I met, we did the small things like badges, stickers, and some posters. So it's just passing on the message. Because Nilgiri wants more care. So more people, it gets more care, and that's how it's all started. And now it's become a a movement. Like lots of people are there. In fact, recently, I got an opportunity to share this. In fact, the collector of Nilgiris asked what's this project all about, and we had like 20 plus minutes discussing about it. And now lots of people are like approaching like what it is. We want to be a part of it. This is just spread the message. The message is very simple. Nilgiri needs love. Nilgiri needs care. That's how it's all started. And thank you for the video, and again following it up, and finding me. I didn't expect. It was really a surprise that going back home, somehow you found me. That was really nice.
I think it's the technology.
Yeah.
So of course so I didn't ask your name. I was in a
Yeah,
rush
correct.
at that point of time. So there was something left, that message left
Uh-huh.
created a deep impact
Impact.
on me.
Yeah.
Neil Green needs love. So of
Yeah.
course, and there was like um, an image of an animal in that. So I
Uh-huh.
love
Yeah.
animals. I love
Okay.
environment.
Okay.
I love planet.
Fine.
So I was wondering that what this person is doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very simple message that Neil Green needs love,
Love. Yeah.
and but it's a very impactful.
Impact.
So I
True. True.
started, Googling. I didn't find it. Then it's like maybe not on Instagram. So I hashtag Neil Green needs love,
Yeah. Mm.
and then I found your post, and I was like, oh, this is the guy I met. So I just texted you directly.
Yeah. Correct. Correct. Yeah.
It's very interesting, Jana, that one small message can create a huge impact. I hope
Absolutely.
people come up with the message of planet needs love.
Love. Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
And so, of course, with the technology, I was able to find you. Now, with the technology, we are doing this podcast and,
Podcast. Yeah.
um, you know, bringing this message to a broader audience. So, my question is, what innovative solutions or projects excite you most about the future of climate action?
So I don't know, like, how, technology can, help climate change. Okay. Maybe it may be a tool, maybe it may act as a communication tool, but climate actions and activities, human actions and activities do. So human action and activities, it's the innovative solution for climate change. Okay, I'm always excited, about being in nature. Okay, so any given chance, no matter the weather and things like that, I always love to be in nature. So again, meeting people as well. Again, talking about my experience about nature, especially student. Okay, so again, I want everybody to experience it. So many, and the important message here is, you know, that's what my objective is. My life's mission is, everybody should think that nature, we are just part of nature. Okay, we are just like another plant, tree, and animal. We are part of it. Okay, and that's the message I wanted to, deliver everywhere. We are part of nature. If people understand this, you know, we are safe. The planet is safe. Everybody is safe. Only thing is, in the last 100 and maybe few hundred years, the message has changed. We always think that we are better than nature. We are better than animals. We are better than plants. We are superior. And once when you have that thought, you destroy it. You don't make the best use of it. You don't see a plant or a tree and an animal as a partner, as a part of you. Okay. So our the entire message is nature, we are part of nature. Okay, just like any other plant, tree, and animals. No difference. And that's how everybody should understand it.
Yeah, I think we are nature. We
Mm.
ourselves are nature. And the
Correct.
problem arises when we separate ourselves from nature. I totally agree with what you said. And when I asked you this question about innovative solution,
Mhm.
I was expecting
Mhm.
some tools or some technological answer, but it really makes sense that it all starts from us
Us.
and it
Yeah.
ends at us.
True, true, true.
If we look at this planet, if we look at all the species on this planet, every species, every animal is aligned with nature, except
Absolutely.
human beings.
Correct, correct.
So it's all about us. And we always think that there's someone who's going to save us, maybe a technological tool, maybe the government, but no one is going to come to save us. It's all us. We need to save ourselves from ourselves. So, yeah, that's the message. I think we save our planet from us.
Us. Yeah, true.
All right, Jana, it's time for a quick round of fun. We are
Uh-huh.
diving into the 5 questions, 5 seconds segment
Mhm. Okay.
where I'll ask you 5 rapid fire questions and you have got just 5 seconds to answer each.
Okay, okay.
Are you ready?
Yes,
Let's
anytime.
go. So, question number one, what's your go-to comfort food when brainstorming ideas for sustainability?
So the cafe, so a coffee and a banana cake for brainstorming.
What was the name of that cafe?
It's Willie's Coffee Pub. So that's my HQ. I call it as my headquarters. You can find me most of the time there. So there I do all my meetings, my brainstormings, my thinking, think tank, everything over there. So I always go for a coffee without sugar and a banana cake.
So, the audience, if you want to meet Jana, you know where Jana is. And
Yes,
the Willie's Cafe in Uti.
good. Absolutely.
All right, question number two. If you could time travel,
Mhm.
would you go to the past or the future and why?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for it. Okay. I, I've watched the movie Back to the Future, but still, again, I just want to be here
Mm. In the present.
in the present. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, Jana, you call yourself stubborn climate optimist.
Yeah,
How would you describe your climate optimism in one word?
stubborn.
Hmm. Okay.
I have to stick to the point. I have to stick to the point. If I can't change. As the climate changes, I can't change. So I have to be stubborn. Stubborn is the word.
All right. Question number 4. Who's one person, living or dead, you would love to have a conversation with?
Unfortunately, there are two people, and one recently passed away, Sir Ratan Tata. And if I may say another person, that is David Attenborough. He's still alive. I think he's 90 plus, 92 or 93. I'm not sure. So I would have a conversation with David Attenborough.
Okay. And the last question. What's one small action everyone can take today to save the planet?
No, consume less.
Mm.
Okay, that's because you said rapid fire round. So
Mm.
consume less. So that will, or being conscious. Conscious will say.
All right. So that was fun and fast. And thank you for playing along, Jana.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for wonderful questions. That's it. We, found each other accidentally, and now it's become a kind of, long-lasting friendship. Okay, and thank you so much for inviting me for this podcast.
All right. Sharing your invaluable insights and inspiring us all to embrace climate optimism. To our listeners, remember that small steps can lead to big change when it comes to saving our planet. I will share the links of TEDx talks of Jana if you would like to know more the work Jana is involved in. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and follow so you never miss a conversation that matters. New episodes drop every Sunday. Until next time, let's keep the conversation going and the action going.